Hello everyone, it is Tuesday and that means Technique Tuesday. Hello. I see we have a good crowd here already. I am a couple of minutes late on. I'm so sorry. I had trouble getting my phone to connect to the videos, so lucky we got there in the end, hey? Hey Margaret and Margaret. We have two Margarets with us. And hello there Marsha, how are you? Hi Deb, nice to see you. Joanne, hi. Oh, sorry, Janine, I beg your pardon. Did you know there's a Joanne Rinker as well? She watches my YouTube videos sometimes and it's a bit confusing. Sorry, Janine. Yes. Well, we have not changed our daylight saving. It's still daylight saving here in Australia, well, in New South Wales, the state that I live in, because not all states do daylight saving. Hello. Hi, Donna. Nice to see you. Hey, Rose. It was very nice to see quite a few of you on the weekend at our onstage event in Melbourne. Thank you to everyone who came and said hello. Yes, I wonder what we will see me doing today. I'm going to go with something pretty simple today, but I'm going to show you lots of different ways to use them. So something that we have in our catalogue. Yes, I know, Leslie. I know. I saw, well, actually, another demonstrator friend pointed it out to me when I was in Melbourne, and I immediately went into damage control. So Leslie has identified correctly that vellum cardstock, plain white vellum, is on the retiring list. Yes, we are sure. That is correct. But you know what? I went immediately into grief mode because you guys know I love my vellum. And I was thinking about how long it is since I've actually sold a pack of vellum, and it's a really long time. I do not sell a lot of it. And I think it's because there's so much in a pack and you don't use it like in whole sheets. You use a little bit here and there, right? So that is correct. Oh, thank you for understanding, Janine. I appreciate that. Oh, it's a German name. I didn't know that. There you go. Yes. Ellen also and I, we commiserated together in Melbourne. I know, right? So I've actually got two packs of vellum on the shelf here behind me. One I've just opened and the other one brand new, not even opened. So you'll help me with therapy. Thank you, Denise. We might need a coffee to feel better about life in general, hey? But it's okay. You know what? Because I realize I think the issue is that because you don't use a lot of vellum, it takes a really long time. Even for someone like me, it takes a long time to go through a pack of vellum. And so I'm hoping they're going to bring it back in a different configuration at some point. Maybe in a mini catalogue, they'll bring back vellum, maybe pattern vellum, but certainly even if they just brought back white cardstock, vellum cardstock, I think that it needs to be sold probably in a smaller pack because as it is, people don't buy it very often. So there you go. It's not going to be online at the moment, but we are starting a movement to try and bring it back, Donna. So stay tuned. Maybe if enough demonstrators put it in the suggestion box to bring it back, they may consider that. S, very vanilla thick cardstock is also going, but we're not going to spend too much time talking about what's going because I'm still going. I haven't even been through the whole list yet, so I'm probably not the best person to update you. But yes, you are right. Very vanilla thick is also going. So if people love their very vanilla thick cardstock, that might be a thing to get soon. And very vanilla envelopes are going as well. So there you go. You know what? When I realized, Denise, that I don't sell it very often, I thought, you know what, it makes sense, even though I will miss it very much. But there you go. Okay. All right. So let's have a little look. I'm going to switch over to the desk and we'll get going because I've already been going 4 minutes and we haven't even done any crafting yet. So let's do that. Switch over to the desk. Oh, it's crooked. I don't like it when it's crooked. Let me straighten it up. All right. So our current catalogs, we have two catalogs in operation at the moment. They are both going to be retiring next month. And early April is when you will be able to order your retired stock from this catalog and the new one. Now, of course, you can order it now, but some items are going to be discounted. So if you wanted to wait for the discounts, then it's probably a good idea to wait, speak to your demonstrator, and they will be able to let you know which items are going to be discounted and which are not, okay? However, there are some things that I wouldn't wait for. I would not wait for in color items that are retiring, especially the re-inkers, because those will go first, and I doubt very much we'll see them go through. I don't even know if they're discounted anyway. I haven't looked at that, but unlikely that they would discount them because they go so quickly. So yes, it's very vanilla itself is not going, Colleen, just the very vanilla thick cardstock. And we have a new color that's coming in that kind of might replace it a little bit. It's called Barely Beige. So there's a new color coming in. It'll be a basic color. To me, it sits somewhere between very vanilla and Sahara Sand, sort of in there somewhere, but it's definitely a beige tone. So, yeah, there's lots of things, fantastic things to look forward to. Hi there, Kay. It was lovely to meet you on the weekend. See you in person. How good is that? Yes, I think small packages of vellum, printed and plain, I think that might do really, really well. So they may have a lot more success in selling vellum in a different configuration, if that makes sense. So there you go. Yes, I know. Vellum is good for busy papers. I use it for that sometimes, Donna, but more often I use it as a softening thing behind things, behind labels, that kind of thing. So there you go. Oh, thank you so much, Kay. That's lovely. Yes, basic beige is the color that's going to be coming in. So we'll have a little look more at what's coming over the coming weeks. Okay, so lots and lots of things. But today I wanted to talk to you about something that's in the front of our catalog. It's up with all the lavender stuff. I should have noted the page number before I started, but here we go. It's page 23, and the paper butterfly accents. And I wanted to talk about these today because I think they don't get a lot of attention. And I would like to show you a whole bunch of different ways to use them that you might not have thought of. So that's okay. I was running a tiny bit late myself, Suzanne. So always fine. Yes. Well, I think that will sell out really quickly. The thick vellum cardstock is another thing I probably wouldn't wait for the retiring list to come out. We know it's retiring, so that's something that's going to go really, really quickly. I expect it to go fast. Also, something else I noticed, there's a couple of our acrylic blocks are going. Block A is going to be going. But, I mean, we can use block B, right? So that's not a huge loss, but block A is going. And block I, if I'm remembering, and block G. I hope I've got that right. Those ones are going. So the block G is the little tiny sentiment block. Little thin, long, thin, tiny sentiment block, and block I is the big, long block. Okay, those ones are going as well. So the DSPs, yes, I would expect most of the time DSP, 99.9% of the time DSP does discontinue. I can see what you guys want to talk about today. You want to talk about what's retiring. I'm going to have to bring you all back, and we'll talk about that more on Friday night or Sunday night. So I'm going to be playing with these. Okay, so there are lots and lots of things you can do with them. I'm going to show you a few cards that I've made and put them on. You can use them as an accent, or you can use them as the main event. Okay, so like, for example, I've used one here as an accent. I just popped it on. There's actually a mini dimensional in a couple of places behind here to pop it up off the page a little bit. This one just has a mini dimensional behind him, and he's just an accent. Okay, now I'll get to these ones in a bit. These ones have been spritzed, and I'm going to show you how I did that and use them as masks. These ones are the main event. Okay, so this one is kind of an accent off to the side. This is right in the middle, front and center, and used as the main deal. And it's been attached to this piece of vellum. Notice the vellum. It's been attached to that with glue dots in the center so that you can pop up the wings if you wanted to. And then I embellished it a little bit more with some beautiful, this is the white silver edge sheer ribbon. This is going to be making a return. This is still available. It's carried over from our last catalog, and it's going to be in the new one. So you do not need to rush out to get that. And then this one, same thing, just a smaller butterfly, and you can pop his wings up as well. So these guys are main events. This one is more of an accent. Okay. This was a card from Craft Along that I did a couple of months ago. So that kind of came together really nicely. But I did Craft Along events that focused on the lavender stuff, and so this was one of those. So there you go. There's a couple of samples there just to sort of get your your interest peaked, I hope. All right. So simple and white is obviously the most common way that people use these things. Hey, Brenton, how you going? Nice to see you on the weekend. Yes, Colleen, I know. There's going to be, I think a lot of people are going to feel that way, and that's why I don't think it's even going to make it through to retirement, to the retiring list. I think it's going to go fast. All right, so the paper butterfly accents come in, there are 8 sheets, and there are 5 butterflies per sheet. So let me just pull out one of the sheets. All right, you can see I've already had a go at this one. So I've already used a couple of these. And I might come back to that. We'll see. What have I got here? There are 5 butterflies, like I said. 2 of the butterflies, this small one and this big one, are like flat, straight on. And then these 3 are like side views of the butterflies. And we've got big ones and small ones. So there's a whole bunch of different ones there. Now, you could also use these as templates, but they're a little bit flimsy. And I probably wouldn't, because I think they might be more trouble than they're worth. But anyway, that's a thought that you could maybe keep aside. But yeah, I think it's a little bit flimsy to use as a template. All right, so we can spritz these. Okay, and if I was to use my spritzer, all right, so let me grab a spritzer that has already got some color in. So this one has some purple in it, as you can see. It's just water with a few drops of re-inker in it, and then I just shake it up when I want to use it. If you do not have spritzers in your collection, do yourself a favor and add them onto your next order. Okay, they come in a pack of 2. They're just little spray bottles. You can fill them up at the tap if you want to put water and some drops of re-inker to make particular colors. But I wouldn't have a collection without these. I think they are absolutely fantastic and something you want to grab, and they're cheap. Okay, they're like, I don't even remember how much they are, but they're not very much. I should tell you, I'm so sorry, I should know that kind of thing, but they're like super, super cheap. So I'm just going to go into my ordering page, and I'm going to type in the word spritzer. Oh. Nope, it's not coming up. Oh, are they still in there? Goodness me. Have I told everyone a furphy? You want some of these, whether we have them or not. You want one. Okay, they're fantastic. Maybe someone else can find them. I just can't find them right now. So that's okay, no problems. You haven't missed very much at all. All right, so I'm just going to put down, I'm using my glass mat, but I'm just going to put down some paper here. And if I wanted to add a color to this, all I would need to do, if I was going to spritz this, you can go above, but I usually go slightly from the side and go across because it gives me a bit more control. Okay, so that straight away gives me a beautiful, I'll bring it up closer. Can you see that? It's just really, really pretty, like a little splattered butterfly. And you could wait for that to dry. You could dry it with a heat tool if you wanted to. But I probably, because they will buckle a little bit if you hit them with a heat tool. I mean, they will unbuckle as well, and you can put them under something to flatten them. So that's fine. But I find that if I was to let them just dry naturally, I get a better result. So I'll pop that to one side. Okay, now you should be able to see here we've got an impression left over, okay, which is really, really nice. Now you could, if you wanted to, I've just got some white paper here, so let's do this on white. How wide is this? This is oh, it's a bit of an odd size actually. I'm going to make this 9.5 by 9.5. So this is just basic white paper, and I'm going to grab another butterfly. I'm going to grab this larger one right here, and I'm going to pop him in the middle. And this time I'm going to spritz again, okay? But I'm going to do it so that I've got this piece of base underneath. And I'm going to spritz my butterfly. And I can add as much as I like. I can get more spritz around the edges if I wanted to. But you can see that the butterfly has left this beautiful impression, okay? So I could use this, and I will, on another project. Okay, and I've also got this left over, so it can be a stencil as well as a piece in its own right. Okay, and so now this is a great little background. You might notice that this one I had out before, this is just on basic white as well. Okay, the other thing you could do is you could do this on fluid watercolor paper. Okay, the fluid 100 paper, because it will hold a lot more water, and you could be a bit heavier handed with that if you love that look, if you want that real watercolored look. So here I've just done this on a panel of white. I've got my 3 butterflies, one straight on, the same as this one side on, and a little guy side on, and I spritzed over that and then used that as my focal point on my piece. At what Marilyn, can you ask that question again for me? At what glue are you holding your spritzer? I'm not sure what that was. Can you write that again for me? Sorry. Oh, thank you, Kim. So, Kim, whereabouts are you? Are you in Australia? So, Kim's written down $137, $7. Yeah, $7 sounds pretty right. They're not very much. There you go. So, Denise has said the same thing. Okay, I just wanted to check that was in the Australian catalogue, not in the US catalogue. Oh, what angle? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, now I got it. It's up to you, and depending on the angle, that will dictate how your splatter looks. If I go very, very low down, like really, really low, and spray, I get like a piece coming over here. If I go higher, I get a rounder piece. So you're going to get more of a splatter going in one direction if you go low. If you do it above at a height, it's going to be a rounder finish. I hope that makes sense. So I might come back and do something with this later. It's really, really pretty. We like it, and I will decide whether I'd like to play around with that a bit more. But I've used this so that I could have used just my glass mat and then wiped it over. I've got my cleaning mat here, and I could wipe that to clean it up. But if you have got a piece of paper, I'm just using a folded over piece of grid paper, and that's going to protect your surface as well. So if you are working on your desk, do put something down to protect it. Okay. All right. So that's just a couple of ideas about spritzing with these. All right. And using them as a mask as well. All right. Then, of course, you can use watercoloring. I'm going to put this back down. Okay. You can use watercolor and actually color using one of your water painters. Okay, now I've just got a bit of water coming through here. And now what color shall I do my butterfly? I might make this, I'm going to make him like sunset colors. So I want to have Melon Mambo, Flirty Flamingo, and Daffodil. Let's try those 3. That looks like a fun, bright kind of a coloring, doesn't it? All right, so I'm going to, I've got a couple of blocks here, and I'm going to add, it doesn't really matter which color you add first, but I usually out of habit start with my lightest color first. I'm just going to tap it into the ink, so I've got some color here on my block, and then I'm going to go up with another color, tap this one into the ink. I've only got a couple of blocks free at the moment because all the rest have been packed up for a class tomorrow. So I'm just going to work with these couple, and I'll clean this one off and we'll. So I'm just going to squeeze a tiny bit of water through here, and I've got now this yellow ink that I'm picking up, and I'm just going to color my butterfly, and I might come back and give him different colored antennae, sorry. All right, so I'm just sort of working out the color. All right, so I'm going to squeeze that, get rid of some of that yellow, and pick up some of the Flirty Flamingo, which I don't know that I used enough. I think it might need a re-ink. I think I said this the other day, actually. So I like Flirty Flamingo in certain situations, like creating sunsets. I find it's really, really good because I'm going to get a bit more, because it is kind of somewhere. It's a bit of a salmony pink. It's not a pure pink. Whereas Melon Mambo, the last color I'm going to use, that's just a hot pink. There's no other way to put it. It's hot, 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 hot. So let's get some of that on there. All right, and so it kind of blends in nicely with the yellow because it's got that bit of a salmony tone about it. All right, I'm going to clean that off with my scrub. So basically, if you can do it to paper, these are paper, these butterflies. So anything you can do regularly to paper, you can do with this. You can stamp, you can spritz, you can watercolor, you can dauber, you can do all sorts of things with these. And so I'm just showing you a few that I like to use, and it's going to give us lots and lots of color on our butterflies. If it's too dark, the color, add more water, because you can control that with your aqua painter, how much water you have in, how much water you squeeze through. All right, now I'm actually going to go back and do his antennae with the pink because I think that would look good, a bit darker. Right, and so now I've got myself a beautiful butterfly that I could use on a white background or a different color. I mean, he looks good, doesn't he? Really, really pretty. Are the glass mats coming in for us who missed out? Yes, they should be coming back. I haven't heard any more about that, but at some point we expect to see them again. So the same as the blue mini cut and emboss machine came back last year, I'm expecting to see glass mats come back as well. So, all right, so I'm going to just run some water through that to get that clean, and I'll clean these off. And so now we've got a few butterflies. We've got a spritz butterfly. We've got a couple of spritz butterflies actually, and then we've got a watercolored butterfly. So tell me, who has who has used these butterflies? Who got them and loves them? If you ordered the whole suite, the lavender suite, you would have got the butterflies in the suite. Let me put those colors to one side. So I'm going to grab the next sheet, and I'm going to grab, I'm deciding which butterfly I want to use. I'm going to grab this small, straight, flat butterfly. All right, so and I'm going to, this time I want to work in a neutral palette. So I'm going to go with grey granite. I would have gone with crumb cake, but I've already packed up my crumb cake stuff for tomorrow's class. So I thought, right, we'll pick a different color. And I'm going to use, I'm deciding what color. I'm thinking maybe Misty Moonlight. And I'm going to pick one of my favorite sets. Now this is, oh, I haven't looked to see if it's going. I bet it is. I'll need to go and check. But this this text, or any set that's got like text, I find really, really great for creating all sorts of different effects. So let's pop that here, and let me see. I'm going to have to use a really big block because all my H blocks are, oh no, that's too big. F block is too big for that stamp. Let me go and grab this from the package on the other side of the room. Okay, I'm going to use, this is block H, and this one is not retiring. So some of them, a few of them are, but not this one. And I'm going to use, like I said, I'm going to use Misty Moonlight. I think that might be nice. I'm going to stamp on my butterfly. Now, a text gives you automatically kind of an ephemera, vintage kind of a look. And I really love that. So I'm actually going to stamp right across my little butterfly. And it's going to give us like that text kind of a look. Can you see that? How it's got, oh, let me hold it in the right place. He's got this like little text kind of a look to him. So I really like that. I think that's really fun. So let's grab our grey granite. And I'm going to grab this same stamp that I just used. Oh, my chair is getting squeaky again, guys. Do you remember a while ago I had a squeaky chair and then my husband fixed it. We got it all sorted, and now it's getting squeaky again. I don't know what I've done with my, oh, there it is. Found it. Take a sip, guys. I'm stealing Susan's line. She's the one who says take a sip. All right, so I'm going to use my grey granite, which is the same colour as my cardstock here. And what I want to create here, I want to create a card that has kind of like a vintage kind of a look. And this Quiet Meadow set is really, really good for that. One of my favourite sets. So I'm going to add some, so you can see how the grey granite looks on. It looks really nice, doesn't it? So if you don't want it to be as dark, you can stamp it off. I'm going to have some stamped off. So I want it to, and I'm also going to be using a couple of these. So let me see. And we've got some splatter here. So splatter is always good. That's almost, that alone is reason to get this set. I love a good splatter stamp. Love, love, love. And then I've also got, you know, I just bought a new set of blocks, which is kind of funny because now they're discontinuing some of the blocks, but that's okay. I'm all right. I'll still use them. So this is block I. I'm opening it. All right, so I'm going to pop this here, and I'm going to use my my Misty Moonlight ink for this. So my colors on this are going to be very simple. They're going to be Misty Moonlight and Grey Granite. You could also add some white in here. Those of you who watch the, what do we call it? Whitewashing technique, which I did a couple of weeks ago. That would be a really nice way to start to play around with this. Now I'm thinking I will clean that off. I like this kind of card that it's just simple stamping, and it really gives you a lovely vintage feel. I love it. All right, I'm thinking I will go with my Misty Moonlight. I'm just going to have some splatter over the corners here. That might be enough. I'll see if I need any more. And I also have this fabulous, doesn't really fit on here, but I'm going to just go with it. And I'm going to do this in Grey Granite. So this is, all right, it's coming together. Can we see that? Starting to look like bits and pieces of all sorts of stuff going on. All right, so I want to have, thinking about putting my butterfly right about here, and he's got that lovely text on him, so he fits right in, yes. But I also want to have a sentiment of some kind. So let's go to my scrap box, and I'm going to have a little look in the scrap box and see what might look good in there. I'm deciding whether I want, I mean, I do have a white butterfly, so I could get away with with a piece here. Should I use vellum, guys? I feel like I should. Goodness me, you know that I won't be able to use it very much longer. Wow. All right, maybe this would be better. Actually, it would. That's better. The smaller piece is better. All right, I'm going to do a little bit more splatter, but I'm not going to do it in the dark. I'm going to do it in the Grey Granite. I see I've got a tiny bit of mark here, but that won't matter because we're going to cover it up with our... Let's stamp this one off. All right, so that's coming together really nicely. I've got a Thinking of You and a You're Too Kind in this set, so I'm thinking I might go with the Thinking of You. The only thing I have found is that sometimes, I don't know why, but this stamp doesn't always stamp cleanly for me, so I'm going to try and not have that happen. Let's stamp it on the paper first and just see how that... Oh, actually, that's pretty good. So I just need to be careful that and this is a photopolymer stamp going onto a small banner. So I'm going to stand up and try and get this straight. So this is, if anyone's wondering, this banner is from the Stylish Shapes dies. Oh, it's a little bit crooked. It's pretty good. It's not too bad. All right, so I'm going to have that there. Right, and I'm going to pop that on with dimensionals. Can everyone see this okay? My light, I had to put my curtain down just before I started because the sun was too bright coming in the window. So I hope that everyone can see this all right. Right, so basically now what we've got here is like a vintage style card with a little bit of like an ephemera look. And I want to have this little guy here. So I'm going to pop him on with some dimensionals. Sorry, no, glue dots. Glue dots is what I want to use here. So let me put a glue dot right there in the middle. Fantastic. And another one just to make sure that he's not going to go anywhere. Right. And then we're going to pop that right there over here on the side. So it forms part of our ephemera kind of a look. I was thinking what would be nice would be some linen thread tied somewhere. Look at this. How much linen thread do I have on this roll? Thankfully, I do have another one, but I'm going to use up the last of this. So I'm going to tie that. I'm sorry if I haven't said everyone's names today. I'm trying to keep things moving and not chat too much. I know we do talk and that's okay, but I just need to be a little bit careful. Now, I wonder, should I put this in the middle of my butterfly? That might be nice and I can trim the ends off. Or I could put it on the bottom of my flower stem here. What do you guys think? Which would look good? You just ordered more vellum. Yeah, maybe if it's still there. Goodness me. Yes, vellum is going. I know, right? How can I be the vellum queen? And by the way, I did not give myself that name. There were some other people here who gave me that name. How can I be the vellum queen if we don't have any vellum? And then, yeah, I said that actually in one of our Stampin' Up groups, leader group that I'm in, that is a global group. And a lovely lady popped on and said, you know, you are the queen no matter what, whether we have vellum or not. I'm like, oh, that's a very nice thing to say. So there you go. All right, so different people are saying, oh, lots of comments all together. Everyone's got an opinion on this. Okay, we have, all right, the very first person to comment was Kay, and she said yes on the butterfly. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The next 9 people all said on the stem. And then we have some more butterfly people. So the first person was a butterfly. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to pop it. And you know what? It really doesn't matter. This is a lovely, linen thread is just such a lovely thing, especially adding on a vintage card. And it doesn't really matter where we put it. No matter where we put it, it's going to look good, right? So I'm going to pop that right there, just as I was told by the first person that commented. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our ribbon scissors in, and I'm going to trim that off. All right, so simple card. Okay, I'm going to put this on a, I'm thinking whether I would put this on a dark background, like maybe a misty moonlight background, and then put a white layer inside for people to write on, or whether I would put it on white. I'm thinking maybe misty moonlight. That might be really nice. I do have, I did have sitting right here, and they might still be here. What have we got? Well, I've got some of these little guys, and they've got pretty peacock, but those would actually look okay. But I also have, I did have some misty moonlight tinsel gems. Those I know are continuing. I saw them in the new catalogue when I looked, so that's a bit exciting. We've got these little silver. Shall we do the silver? I think the silver might be nice. Let's use a pair of scissors, or you can use your take your pick tool, and let's pop a few of those on. So I'm going to put one right here on the side, and a couple more as I go up. Oop, where did it go? It didn't come. Maybe one here and one right about here. Right, and I'm thinking like sometimes I run my my ink pad around, but that's a little bit close. Although I could hold it back while I do that. Maybe I will do that. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe the grey granite would be really nice around the edges of this. And let me have a look and see if I have a sponge dauber that I could use that would be close to the right colour. This one will do. So I'm going to pound that into my grey granite ink, and we're just going to zip around the edges just to finish it off. It'll just give it a nice finished look. It won't be particularly dark, but it will look rather finished. I like this kind of card. You know, you start out with just a piece of cardstock and a few pieces and some stamps, and you can get the most wonderful, vintage look to it. It's a very simple card. It's mostly one layer. Not quite a one layer card, but you know, I could add more around the edges if I wanted to, but I think I'm going to say that's enough. And then I'll pop this on a piece of Misty Moonlight. Actually, let me just grab some because I've got some right here. And let's add that. You could also do this with navy. The navy is going to be a bit crisper, a bit stronger, because navy is a stronger color than the Misty Moonlight. But they're both neutrals, and they would both look good. Oh, that's actually not the right size. Let me cut that down. So it's a little bit long. I'm going to go 14.8 is the right size for that. And then we're going to pop that right there. Now it's the right size. So what do you think? Do we like this card? You love it. Oh, good. When can we get the new catalogue? Okay. Sheila, are you a demonstrator or are you a customer? So depending on whether you're a customer or a demonstrator, my answer will change. So those of you who went to On Stage, we already have our new catalogues. Does anyone want to see the cover? Has anyone not seen it yet? Would you like me to show it to you? I can't show you inside, but I can show you the cover. All right. One finished card with a beautiful stamped butterfly. And I really love how this turned out. I think it looks really, really good. Isn't it nice? Thank you. I like it too. Are you a demonstrator? Okay. All right. So the PDF of the new catalogue went up this morning on the demonstrator website. So you can go check it out online now. And this same week, all the complimentary copies are being sent to demonstrators. Okay. So you should have it in the next week or so, just depending on what their mailing is like. So, you know, they're on their way out as of this week. So that's a bit exciting, right? All right, so that's stamping. You could also, of course, maybe I won't do it today, but you could use blends on these. You could use regular markers. Blends would be great because you could blend the color as you go out. You could add whatever color of blends you love to use. Now I'm going to show you another of my favorite things to do with one of these butterflies. So let me I'm going to grab one. It doesn't matter if we have the big one or the small one. It makes no difference. You'll notice that these are the same on both sides. They are white on both sides. Although I notice there's a little bit more on the one side. It's almost like you can see, it almost looks like a tiny bit of a crumb cake edge if you look really, really closely, like it's made from wood, which it isn't. Well, paper is made from wood, right? But it does look slightly, ever so slightly different on the one side to the other, but both sides it looks lovely. All right, so this is another thing you can do. Very easy to do, but very effective. Grab your Versamark, and we're going to cover our butterfly in Versamark ink. And you're probably going to guess what I'm going to do to this butterfly. All right. I'm just going to hold it very carefully by the edges. I don't want to put my fingers on top of it too much because the Versamark is sitting there on top. I don't know if you can see when you hold it. Oh, you can't really. But when you hold it in the light, it looks shiny because it's got the Versamark on it. Okay. And then we're going to bring in our embossing additions kit. Yes, we're going to emboss on this butterfly. Okay, so you can do whatever color you want. I'm thinking I will go with a metallic butterfly. We've got copper, we've got silver, and we have gold. Which one will we do? Copper, silver, or gold? Yes, you'd like to see the cover? All right. Give me a moment and I will do that. All right, let me see. All right, so I've got it. So it's Versamark side up. All right. Now you really want to use tweezers to pick this up. It would make it much, much easier. At this particular moment, I am not sure where my tweezers are. I do not know what I have done with them, but that's okay. You could also hold it down with like with a take your pick tool, or with you know, with something else. So I could hold it down, you know, very easily enough with that. But you know, you could also use a paper piercer. So lots of different things you could use that would work with this. So what was the response? Oh, everybody wants copper. Ooh, okay. Copper, 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 copper. Oh, silver, says Leslie. And then copper, 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 copper. I think everyone said copper except Leslie. So copper it is. All right, so I'm just going to dump my copper powder right over the top. I'm going to hide that butterfly almost completely. All right. And then I'm going to pick it up. Now, how you pick that up is up to you. I find either a pair of tweezers would be perfect, or use your take your pick tool and just get in underneath that. All right, so, and then I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to put that back, the powder back into the container. I love this embossing editions kit. You still got yours, Judy? I know you love it. I've had a few people tell me they love it because they don't make as much mess. It certainly contains your messy embossing activity. So, all right, so I'm going to pop that there. Make sure I've got all that there, and I'm going to pick this up. Whoop. And we're going to pop it back in here. All right, so I'm going to get my heat tool and I'm going to heat this up, and we're just going to emboss this little guy. It's not hard to do. It's just a little bit fiddly, because you don't, you know, you want to be careful and you don't want it to go everywhere. But I'm just holding it down there right on the edge, and I'm going to heat it up. It doesn't matter which speed you use. I'm just going to use the top speed, and away we go. And it shouldn't take very long for this to heat. Look at that. It's quick. And now I've got that there. I'm going to move it, and I'm going to put this on a different spot now. Okay, so now we have a heat embossed a little butterfly, and you can handle it almost straight away because it doesn't take very long for that to cool down. It's amazing how quickly it cools down, actually. And it's ready to be used on a project. Isn't that gorgeous? I love them embossed like this. And so you could attach it with glue dots. You can do all kinds of fun things with this. I just love an embossed die cut. Now, what if you don't have the paper butterflies? Okay, any die cut shapes with a little bit more of an intricate pattern can be used in this way. Okay, you can do it with anything, but I think that they just look fantastic when they're done. Okay, let me have a little look. You keep your white powder in a separate box. Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Oh, hello, Inika. How are you? 4:45 a.m. Why are you up, honey? Why? Can you not sleep? Have I ever had the heat tool overheat from trying to emboss too much at once? No, I haven't. But I only tend to do a small amount and then move on to something else and maybe do another. And I've done a lot of swaps and stuff like that. So I've still never had it overheat. But I guess it's possible. Never thought about that. Which color did I pick for the onstage vote? I can't remember what you mean, Donna. Sorry. Which color did I pick? You'll have to tell me what that is. I'm so sorry. I'm obviously living under a rock or something, because I don't know what you mean. I'm so sorry. All right, so there's your embossing, and I'll have to create something with this little guy now that I've made him. Isn't he lovely? I think he's beautiful. So I'm going to set him to one side and move these out of the way. And then I'm going to do one more. Okay, so basically, if you can do it to paper, you can do it to these because they're paper. Okay, but I'm going to do one more and we're going to have a bit of fun with it. I'm going to use my Tombow for this one. And I am going to do this on some paper because otherwise I'm going to make an incredible mess. But let's see. All right, so I'm going to grab another one. And this is also going to give us a vintage look. Who's going to guess what I'm going to do? I am going to use a product that is going to retire, but it hasn't retired yet. So I'm actually going to put some glue straight onto my butterfly, just a little drop of glue. I don't know if you can see it there. Can you see that? Whoop, there's a drop of glue. And then I'm going to take my smushy end of my Tombow and I am going to put that all over my little butterfly. Antennae as well. All right, and I'm going to move that around. If we need to squish out a bit more, I will do that, and then we'll keep applying. You don't want it to leave it on the paper too long because it will stick to the paper, but we don't want to do that. We're just going to, so now I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool and I'm just going to pop that under there and we're going to lift it up, okay, before it gets dried. Whoa, already starting to stick. There we go. All right, but that's tacky now, okay, so it's sticky, but it's not stuck down. You never thought of embossing butterflies. Why not, right? Which ball? I had a yellow one, but then one of my roommates had a yellow one as well, and she got different things to me. So it didn't seem to matter. I think it was random. But anyway. All right, so I've got these little guys, this little butterfly, and he's all sticky. And I'm going to bring in one of my favorite messy things that I don't use nearly often enough. It's gilded leafing, okay? So this is going to give us a gold butterfly, but he's going to have a little bit of a, what would we say? A bit of an antique look to him, all right? So I'm just looking to see what I have done with my brush. I like to do this with a brush. You can use your fingers as well. And if I cannot find the brush, I'm going to use my fingers. But here we go. Oh, I've got a couple of brushes that I used this week out on the table, but I've got one that I use for gold leafing, and this one I don't use for gold leafing, so I'm not going to use that one. But that's okay. I'll use my fingers in this case. So basically, we're just going to get little bits of gold leaf, and we're going to put it over the butterfly. And because he's sticky, it is going to stick. So let's just cover him in gold leafing. I really need my brush. Never mind. That's a lot. This stuff lasts forever. Really? I think I'll have it until, you know, Kingdom Come. It's just so... Right. So I've got plenty there. Now it's all going to stick to my fingers because my fingers are a little bit sticky. And I'm going to pick him up. And we're going to take off the top layer. Whatever is stuck underneath. It's messy stuff, but it's actually a lot of fun. I really like working with this, and maybe I will just use that little brush because the other brush is not anywhere to be found right now. All right, so on the back here, let's just use it. I can always get another brush. I'm just going to go over it, and it's going to just stick to the bits of the butterfly that had the glue. And this could take a little while because, you know, you're getting rid of all the bits that... My other brush is better. This brush is not so good because it's got a very, I don't know if you can see this, but it's quite a flimsy brush, like it's more of a watercoloring brush. But the other brush I have is more of a stiffer bristle brush, and that's better for this. Much better. I didn't stop to think that I would need that before I started, but that's okay. It's still working, but it's just going to take longer because I don't have the right kind of brush. So this is, yes, gilded leafing is going in the new catalogue. It's not going to be there. So if you love it, you want to get yourself some of that. But if you have this already, you won't need to buy it forever because it's going to last forever, this stuff. I bought a new thing because I couldn't find my container, and then of course, as soon as I bought my new pack of gilded leafing, I found the original container. So I have almost 2 full containers, and I will never need to buy it ever again in my whole life. All right, so I'm just taking off some of this. So I will play with this some more, but it gives you an idea. It's very, very shiny, okay, and it's got that antique look to it. And look at my fingers, but that's okay. I'll go wash them as soon as I'm done. But we did make a card today. So who has never thought of doing things to the butterflies to change the way they look? Because there are so many things that you can do. Let me put some of them out on the table. And I want you to think of it, you know, you play with these things. This is for fun, right? So we have a couple of spritzed butterflies. We have a gilded leaf butterfly. We have an embossed butterfly. We have the stamped butterfly that I love this. I actually really, really like this card. This is my style of card. I really love this kind of thing. So there we go. What do you think? Was that a bit of fun? And I hope it's given everyone some ideas to play with the butterflies, just to have some fun. Did I cover, I'm looking at my little list I made before I started. Gilded leafing, embossed, didn't do blends, but I decided not to today. Watercolored, yes, the watercolored butterfly. I forgot about him. Look, there he is. The mask butterfly, that's this one. Look at that. All the different things we did today. Lots and lots of things. And then just spritzed and simple. There's nothing wrong with just a simple white butterfly, because that can look really beautiful as well. And in this case, I put a beautiful ribbon in the middle of it, and I think that looks really good. Now I'm off to go wash my hands, you guys. Does anyone have any questions before we go? They are messy techniques, some of them, but they're so pretty, and it's just a lot of fun. You could do, you know, for those of you who are demonstrators, you could do a whole class on how to use these butterflies, because there are so many different fun ways to use them, right? So you're very, very welcome. Thanks so much, everyone. I hope that this has given you some inspiration, and you'll go play with your beautiful butterflies or whatever die cuts you might happen to have. I think I will miss these, because I don't know. I doubt they're continuing, but I haven't looked to see. Shall I look? Oh, I was going to show you the new catalogue colour, wasn't I? Give me a second, and I will go get the list, and we'll show you the new catalogues. All right. Here is the new catalogue cover, because I did tell you I would show you. So this is from May 2024. The 1st of May is the day it starts, and it will go all the way through to April 2025. And I wanted to tell you about this because I had a couple of people on the weekend say, but it doesn't look like it's craft stuff. Well, if you look really closely, you can see what these girls are doing here. There's a cut and emboss machine here. This girl's got a blend. This one has got some glue dots. So there's different things that the different girls are doing. And this one, I think she's holding a stamp set. It's hard to tell, but there's also a little, I think it's a mini cut and emboss as well as a full-size one. So they are doing a crafty kind of a thing, but the focus isn't on what they're doing. The focus is actually something else completely different. Do you want to guess what that is? Oh, they are in the new catalogue. Oh, there you go. The paper butterflies are carrying over. Excellent. Thank you, guys. I hadn't even looked. It's just too hard to know everything, right? The garden does look welcoming. I agree. But why do you think they have done this as their cover? And what, to me, I think this is it's a very different catalogue. The contents are different as well. Exactly. Margaret's got it. It's togetherness. It's about community. It's about gathering. Okay. It's about getting together with people to share ideas and to craft together. So the emphasis is actually not on the craft. the emphasis is on the gathering, and I think that's really cool. And even if you're not someone who goes out all that much and you don't get together with other crafters, we still have our videos here, right? And we gather here, even though it's not quite the same as being together, not the same as being in real life. It's still lovely to be part of a community and to share ideas together. So I hope that everyone is going to have a great week ahead. I will be back again on Friday evening. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed on YouTube, I would love you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because that's how I can reach more and more people. So I hope that you will have a fantastic week ahead, and we'll be back again soon. Thanks, guys. See you Friday.